Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is Trader to Boston here, aka the King of Boston. Today we're back for episode 27 of my Indiana Pacers MyLeague for an NBA 2K15. And the Charlotte Hornets have won the NBA championship, so they went on to win after beating us in 5 games in the conference semifinals. And if you guys did not see my little announcement in that video, so I'm going to do the off-season of this, or just do this off-season video today, and then I'm going to simulate all of Season 4 tomorrow and wrap up the series then, and then I'm going to be out of here later Sunday afternoon. So anyway, you can see Kirk Hinrich retires, but we're actually going to be able to draw him out of retirement, weirdly enough. I guess it's kind of a spoiler, but it's Kirk Hinrich. It's not a big deal. You'll see that later in the video. Here is the draft lottery. We have no picks in this draft once again, but I'm not too concerned about that because we do have a lot of young players on our team, and we were picking up 4 team options on rookie contracts as it is, so I think we have plenty of young guys. I'm not too worried about the team getting old or anything like that, but here is a list of some of the guys who opted in and opted out. As you can see, pretty much everyone opted in, but there are going to be a couple pretty key free agents this year, including Blake Griffin, who's coming off of a ruptured Achilles, and I think Nerlens Noel is a restricted free agent, and some other pretty good players. It's not quite as stacked as the last free agent class with Kevin Durant and Anthony Davis, but it is still a pretty solid free agency class, and we'll get past the screen in a moment. So here are the free agents, and you can see most of these guys are going to go try and test for agency. I wasn't too intent on bringing anyone back. Those last 2 guys, you probably don't recognize them from our roster. They're actually, I signed them just to fill roster spots at the end of the year. But anyway, here are some trades that I was thinking about doing. Now, we have kind of an interesting roster, and we could do a lot of moving things with this team. We could trade Gasol for a 2-way 4, and then keep Kelly Oubre off the bench. If we traded Paul George for Anthony Davis, and then started Oubre, and I mean there was something there. We could have traded DeAndre Jordan, similar to how we were going to trade Marc Gasol, so we could put Gasol at center. But you know, we had a trade with Jordan where we could just get all of that money off our cap and worry about it in free agency, along with collecting 2 more first-round picks. We had a lot of different routes we could go, so I decided I was going to try and get it all done in the draft. Now, another option was trading Jimmy Butler because we had Kelly Oubre, and I really thought Kelly Oubre was ready to start coming into this year. So Jimmy Butler really, I just thought it would be, I thought our team was going to be better if we let Oubre start. So we kept shopping around Butler a little bit, and then I finally found the trade I wanted to do. Marc Gasol and Jimmy Butler for LaMarcus Aldridge and CJ McCollum. Now, McCollum I wasn't intent on keeping. He's making about $6 million a year. Certainly very tradable. So I kind of just acquired him as an extra chip to make this trade a little fair, but we're getting LaMarcus Aldridge to be our starting power forward next year. He's a really good offensive player. That's where we're going to look him to help us. I want him putting up like 18 points a game. And then the other guy we're going to go after is Dwight Howard, who was just recently signed by the Nuggets. And you can see DeAndre for Dwight doesn't quite work straight up. Dwight's clearly a better player than DeAndre Jordan, but Jordan's about 3 or 4 years younger, so there is something there. Now, I don't feel bad about giving up McCollum just because I really wasn't targeting him in the first place, and we're actually able to get Justice Winslow out of it, who had a higher trade value rating than CJ McCollum, which is weird because DeAndre for Dwight didn't look like it was going to work straight up, but maybe it would have just because that was a money thing. So anyway, we get Justice Winslow. Now Winslow sort of takes Oubre's role of being that super guy off the bench, that 6th man. And we're in free agency here. We give $3.4 million to Thanasis Motiejunas, and then we give the rest of what we could to Joe Johnson. So that fills out our bench with Tyus Jones, Joe Johnson, Justice Winslow, Thanasis Motiejunas, and Willie Cauley-Stein. And then just to fill out the rest of the roster, I signed some veterans. We're going to give Kirk Hinrich a 2-year deal. I did give a couple guys 2-year deals. It was the only way to get him back, but we do get Kirk Hinrich back eventually, and we also get Chuck Hayes. And then there was actually players that were auto-signed to our team after this to fill out the rest of the roster. And I was having trouble like getting those guys to getting guys to sign for the minimum salary, so I just had the game do it for me, and then actually signed Jamal Crawford to the team as well. So he might crack a rotation at some point, but you'll see that later in the episode. So we send both Kelly Oubre and Justice Winslow to the outside shot camp. Justice Winslow is not a very good shooter, and Kelly Oubre I seem to struggle with, and here's Jamal Crawford and the other guys that we signed, Matt Bonner as well. And I sort of struggled to hit threes with Kelly Oubre in recent videos, so I decided I would up that as well. I guess it doesn't really matter if we're just simulating the season, but anyway, that's pretty much going to do it. That was really the offseason. The rest of this video is just me changing around the numbers of guys. I made Aldridge 23, which was his college number at Texas, and then I was able to move Dwight Howard back to number 12. I think I was able to get Jamal Crawford 11, so I got Tyus Jones number 5. So yeah, that's pretty much the rest of this episode, really. So let me know what you think of the team that we built. So our starting lineup is going to be Emmanuel Mudiay, Kelly Oubre, Paul George, LaMarcus Aldridge, and Dwight Howard. And then off the bench, we have Tyus Jones, Joe Johnson, Justice Winslow, Thanasis Motiejunas, Willie Cauley-Stein, and then our last couple guys are Jamal Crawford, Matt Bonner, and Ernest Owens, I think, who's like a 2nd-year guy. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So the only thing is our front court's really old now, Dwight and LaMarcus Aldridge, so that sort of would be like a short-term plan, but either way, I think it's going to be a pretty good team. I think one thing we did with this team was we balanced it out a little bit. Last year we were so heavily dependent on our defense, and our offense wasn't very good. This year we smoothed it out a little bit. Kelly Oubre is an offensive upgrade over Jimmy Butler, and LaMarcus Aldridge is certainly an offensive upgrade over Paul George. And then Dwight Howard, not sure if he's a defensive upgrade over DeAndre Jordan, but they're probably pretty equal. We keep Paul George, we keep Moody. I think our defense is still going to be pretty good. So, and Kelly Oubre is actually a pretty good perimeter defender. I think it's like a B+ rating for him in this game. So, anyway, that's going to do it. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you did enjoy. Those I'm out. Peace.